Your specific person told me to make this video to tell you that all of your excuses are BS. And yes, I know you know what BS means. It means belief systems, because literally everything you say is in the way of you, and your manifestation is literally BS. Think about the circumstances that you have right now with your specific person. So again, list them out. Maybe they're third party, maybe it's distance, maybe it's no contact, things like that. But if we want to look at those and think, are these really stopping us from being with our specific person? Ask yourself, and this is how we're going to know that they're BS. Has no one ever in existence ever overcome these circumstances? So think about no contact, third party, distance, whatever it is. Has no one ever overcome them? And obviously we're going to say yes. You're going to be like, yes, Kyle, people have overcome these circumstances. So why do we feel as if we can't? Or why do we feel as if it's permanent? Because it absolutely is not. Again, these are just BS. And a reason that we actually want to do these is because I think slightly deep down, all of us kind of don't really want to change or alter ourselves to a drastic extent because we are very comfortable where we're at. But then if we want to then come out of this, we need to stop using all of our circumstances. We need to get rid of this BS so we can be with our specific person right here and right now. And a metaphor that's going to create this or stop ourselves from going along this path, again, this spiral down, these circumstances are not going to get me there, this or that is in my way, is the idea that you cannot create a peach from an apple seed. And I know you're thinking, Kyle, of course you can't take a peach or create a peach from an apple seed. But think about it in your reality. You then cannot create positive thoughts if it's rooted in a negative seed. And I'll give you an example of this. So someone I was coaching had their friend who saw, so let me actually reword that. Someone I was coaching had a friend who saw at their specific person's house an unknown car. And so obviously we know exactly what the fear and the thought was. Instantly we were thinking, this is a third party, right? That's what anyone kind of thinking or worrying possibly about their manifestation would think. But who says this is the case? But they started asking questions like, what do I do? Oh my gosh, there's competitions. Oh my gosh, I'm not good enough. And all of these thoughts are obviously rooted in a negative idea that this is a third party. So all of these thoughts make sense when they are rooted in that original idea that this is a third party. But remember, that's BS, right? Who is saying that this is in our way? Who is saying that this is stopping us? And so when we first want to think about this and we need to change, we need to think about what seed we're planting. Is it BS or is it not? What seed are we planting? And we're going to find that if we're planting an apple seed, we cannot grow a peach out of it. If we are planting the seed and have the original thought that this is a third party, we can only create thoughts that align with that in our reality. It's just physically impossible not to. If we know for a fact to remember, because it's just BS, that that's a third party, then we can only create and have thoughts that align from that. But remember, it was all based in something that was not even true to begin with. That's why then, if we take a look at our circumstances and we feel as if they're in our way, they're truly not, because they're not permanent. You being long distance from your specific person, is not permanent. There being a third party probably doesn't even exist. These circumstances probably aren't even real to begin with, because in this circumstance with this specific person who I'm talking about in this manifestation success story, would you have thought the same way, right? Would you have thought that was a third party? And what train of thought would it have led you on? And obviously probably the same things. What do I do? Oh my gosh, is there competition? Oh my gosh, am I good enough? Or just statements of I'm not good enough. I need to work harder. I need to do this. I need to do that. But this all takes us out of the state. And so really basically we need to remember, if that basic belief is not something that we want, we can only create things that align with it. End of story. So if your beginning idea is BS, you can only create BS out of it. But if you then switch it, and this is where then it gets very easy, very simple, very automatic, and the way that you're going to manifest your specific person. If the original thought is something positive, like this was just their friend. They're calling their friends over to talk about them, to discuss how they want to be back together. If the original idea is something positive, then you got your peach seed, and only peaches can come out of it. So in this metaphor, if apples are something bad, so we have an apple seed, and peaches are something good, you can't plant an apple seed and get a peach, but if you do plant a peach, you can only receive peaches from it. And this is how, in my recent video about the mental diet, makes so much sense. When we are aligning with and never finishing a negative thought or a negative action, and this is something I've been doing in my coaching sessions recently that have been absolutely killing it. When you do that, you only result or have positive thoughts. You feel as if everything is going in your favor. And so this is kind of like the vine branch idea that Neville Goddard talks about in the Bible, that you're giving life to everything you are creating, focusing on, and assuming. And your base assumptions or beliefs are then what everything is stemming from. So if you want to change your reality, you cannot continue being, existing, and feeling the same exact way. You have to dig up that apple seed and put in a peach seed if you want a peach tree instead of an apple seed or an apple tree. Because all of this, otherwise, you're just going to be doing BS. All of your excuses are BS. Again, your belief systems, because it is just a belief, because the car in front of the specific person's house is not something positive or negative. There actually is no value on it until we place it there. And so I would even think deeper into these ideas, because these limiting beliefs can sometimes feel as if they go pretty deep, in that we actually create excuses because we are worried about being with our specific person, which I know sounds strange to say, but I actually had someone also in a recent coaching session. I might have included this in a previous video, but I thought it was really, really interesting to show that we are all susceptible to this. They were meeting up with me for a phone call. Maybe I should put this in another video, but I'm just going to put it here. They were meeting up with me for a phone call asking, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm doing everything right. Why am I not aligning with or manifesting what I desire? And they mentioned every single moment or every single morning they wake up and they look for a text from their specific person. So obviously, in this way, we already kind of know that doing this, focusing on the 3D, is not going to be very helpful. But regardless of that, they were thinking, and everything they're doing sounded absolutely perfect. They were doing their affirmations, doing techniques, things like that to get them in the state. But digging a lot further, we realized that every time this person would actually look to their phone to see if there was a text message, they were slightly relieved, because they felt as if when they don't get a text message, they actually have more time to manifest their specific person, to get ready. And so I know on the surface, we're probably thinking, that's not me, I would never do this, but everyone is susceptible to this idea. Everything we are doing is either in alignment with what we want or not. Everything we do is for our own benefit. So if we are thinking a negative thought, there is something within us that thinks that's good. If we're focusing on a circumstance, there's something within us that thinks that's good. And obviously I'll make another video on this, but it's just something to think about. Quit with the BS. No more excuses. You are being with your specific person. Your specific person literally wanted me to make this video for you because they were thinking everything you were thinking. All those negative thoughts, negative worries, and negative fears are all BS. If you did have any questions on this, make sure to comment them down below. Also, remember, you can reach out to me on my website at kyleaugustcoaching.com if you did want to send me a personal message or a personal question. Thank you so much for stopping by today, and I can't wait to see you in my next video tomorrow.